What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Set It Off Network. I'm your host, Michael Sedetall. Hopefully, you guys had a tremendous week watching college football. It was a jam-packed week. We're here to kind of react to things as they come, and it was a crazy week 11. We had four ranked teams go down this week. A bunch of nail-biting games, a bunch of potential upsets that almost happened that didn't happen. A bad week for the ACC for sure, as two of their contending teams go down. And Louisville and Virginia both get taken down by unranked opponents tonight. Virginia going down 16-9 to Wake Forest tonight. Cal coming in off of the West Coast trip to the East Coast to take down number 15 Louisville in double overtime or in just regular overtime. But two of the ACC's best right there going down. Not ideal situation there. Also, Washington from the Big 10 goes down to Wisconsin, who just announced that they're retaining Luke Fickell. So big news, but I think the game of the day kind of goes to Indiana and Penn State. Indiana battle, man. They showed me a lot in this football game. Frankie Mendoza and company for Indiana, just ice water in the veins there. Towards the end, Penn State takes the lead late. Um, goes up 24-20 there. And you're kind of feeling down if you're Indiana right there, but good teams do this, and this is kind of what it takes in college football. Sometimes it takes a little bit of luck here, a little bit of luck there, but really getting through those adverse situations like there was today. A lot of people are going to look at this and say, well, Penn State's a 3-16, but that place is still as hostile as any place in college football. It was live and well today for all four quarters for today. That is still a very talented Penn State team. So all the credit in the world to Indiana. They had 10-0, 7-0 in the Big 10, really controlling their own destiny at this point. Feels like they are a lock to make the postseason at this point. But man, what a catch from Omar Cooper Jr. In the back of the end zone for IU to kind of seal that thing there. About 30 seconds left in the game, but not on the stat sheet. But Frankie Mendoza, he was awesome, man, and you really get judged in this thing about what you do in the fourth quarter and overtime and these big type of games and crucial moments. But man, he was awesome that last drive. Obviously, you get sacked right there on the very first play of that last drive with no timeouts, and it's kind of scramble drills. 2nd and 17, he rips one right up the seam, converts the first down, and then it was off to the races. They went right down the field, boom, 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 and then the play there that kind of everybody's going to see on the highlights, toe tap touchdown, ends it there for Indiana as they take down Penn State on the road, 27-24. Another big game in the Big 10, man. Oregon survives on a walk-off field goal at Iowa today. That game was just a mess. A dogfight from start to finish. It really felt like Oregon was there, kind of going to take control of the game there late, but they were able to battle back. Iowa was able to battle back there and kind of get things going for them, scoring 9 points in that fourth quarter to make it a game again. Ended up taking the lead there with a huge touchdown drive there late in the game. But, this is kind of the same situation we talked about with Indiana. It's like really good football teams are always going to find a way to get the job done. And that's exactly what Indiana and Oregon did today. It didn't look pretty. All right. These are tough road environments in the Big 10. I give all the credit in the world to those teams, and a lot of people are going to say, well, it's just Iowa, it's just Penn State or whatever. But it's tough to win on the road, and especially in venues like that. Not a lot of teams handle those situations. Oregon having to deal with the elements there in Iowa today. It was just a well played game, right? It was kind of sloppy there, but then both quarterbacks kind of figured themselves out. That last drive, Dante Moore made some great throws for Oregon. He has proven that he is worth every penny that transfer portal money got him. They're leading the ship there at Oregon, but I think Oregon is kind of dead set on their destiny now. They want to be playing their best football in November, and they've got caught the last couple times not doing that. And I feel like they're kind of gearing up towards being better later in the year, maybe than in years past. But we'll see. They still have a couple big games with USC and Washington coming up, so we'll see how that goes. Um, the game of the day, college game day there in Lubbock, Texas. Texas Tech just dominated this football game. I want to say it was 29-7. Yeah, 29-7. Your final score, and that 7 came late in the football game. I think this thing was well out of reach by the time BYU scored. It was just a dominant performance from the Texas Tech defense. Not sure how many total yards they had. Wrong game. Box score. Let's see. Oh man, not sure. 255 total yards for BYU, and I'm sure a lot of that came in the fourth quarter. But that Texas Tech defense is for real. It really feels like Texas Tech has kind of separated themselves in the Big 12. I know they lost that game earlier this year to Arizona State, but that was with Sam Levitt, and that was on the road, close game. Not really going to fault them. It was with a backup quarterback as well for Texas Tech. This Texas Tech team is for real. Like, don't get me wrong, they went out, spent $28 million in the portal to get a bunch of really talented football players, but that is a really good football team, you know? And I think that gets overlooked by, the price that people see on the NIL ledger there in Lubbock, Texas, and say, wow, they just bought their entire roster. Well, it's a lot deeper than that. Look at a team like LSU, that bought a bunch of players in the portal, and they've fallen flat on their face. So it's not always as easy as just going out there and getting the best guys. You have to have that good team chemistry, and it really feels like Texas Tech has that. That is a tremendous football team there. Another game that I really want to talk about and give an honorable mention to is that at Texas A&M honestly just continues to impress. 38-17 win today. Obviously, Missouri without their starting quarterback, that was going to be a tough task for them. But this game was all about A&M, man. It was a dominating performance. I think this thing was like, 24-0 at one point. So, I mean, it was never really close. 7 total completions for Matt Zollers in Missouri. It was not a great day at the office for that Missouri offense. Handicap is one word that I would use. 77 total passing yards is not ideal when you want to play against a good team like A&M and find a way to win. But they were overmatched, and they get a huge 21-point win against a ranked opponent on the road in the SEC. And now all signs kind of point to them in that showdown in Austin late in the year to see if they can kind of take this thing home. It feels like they've kind of clinched their way to the SEC championship. It'd be hard for me to say that right now they're not one of the favorites to be in that game. But we've seen Texas A&M struggle in years past. It just doesn't feel like this team is going to hit that stride. They have a really favorable schedule going down the stretch here. It started with this Missouri game, but you play South Carolina at home, you play Sanford, you're going to win those 2 football games, and then, like I said, you'll be undefeated going into Austin, and a chance to do something you haven't done maybe ever. I don't even know. But finish a regular season undefeated for the Texas A&M Aggies. Not something we thought we would be saying going into this football season. But Marcel Reed and company, man, they are the real deal. And it feels like they're kind of hitting their stride at the right time. So a lot of credit to that Texas A&M team. A lot of people, like I said, are going to overlook that result just based off of, the fact that Missouri was out their quarterback, but that is still a really talented Missouri team, and they still scored 38 points against them. So that is not an easy thing to do. I felt like the game of the day in the SEC today, overtime game in Nashville. Boy, Vanderbilt was on the ropes, man. Auburn had them. Auburn had them, man. Had them right where they want them. They just, man, Vandy just wouldn't go away, man. Auburn had a chance there to go up almost three scores, I believe, there in the first half. But Vanderbilt was able to battle back, and they were able to get the win 45-38. This game did go to overtime. But how about the effort from Auburn? I think we've kind of seen it now. You saw it last week with Florida going into the Jacksonville game against Georgia, play their tails off. You saw LSU tonight play extremely expired football in a very close game against a very good Alabama team on the road. And then you saw it again today with a 1-6 team in the SEC, and Auburn played their butts off. And my man for Auburn had a great day. Like you really can't complain. Ashton Daniels was awesome today. Like he was everything and more that Auburn needed to win this football game. He scored 38 points. That should have been enough to win, and this Auburn defense is good enough to kind of hold them at bay. But like I said, credit to Vanderbilt. The story of the game was Diego Pavia. I think he had what, four? Oh man, I gotta look this up. I know he was over 400 yards passing, I believe. Let's see, where is he at? Where's he at? Jeez, man, let me have my man stat. This game, 377 through the air. Another buck on the ground. So over 400 yards of total offense from Diego Pavia today, 4 total touchdowns. He was amazing. And credit him. A lot of people doubt him. A lot of people still don't believe that Vanderbilt is a freaking good football team, and it is so hard to believe. This is just life in the SEC, though, and it's going to get overlooked. People are going to say, wow, that's just Auburn, but this is a hard-fought game, a hard-fought win for Vanderbilt and company, and they were able to get it done. So hats off to Diego Pavia, sitting here 8-2, really kind of in control of things here. If they can get that big win later on in the season, I believe they have Tennessee. Tennessee is the team they got left. They play Kentucky at home. They should win that football game. You'll be 9-2, and then as of right now, a top 25 matchup going to Knoxville could be a game where you could be playing your way into the postseason. I mean, depending on what happens in front of you, you're sitting at what, number 15, 16 right now. So I mean, you have room for improvement. You should move up because of Louisville and Virginia both losing. So you're going to be closing in on that top 12, and that last rank win could be that game sealing one that could propel Vanderbilt to their first ever college football playoff. So that's going to be interesting to see. That was a big time performance. And yeah, man, that's kind of the basis. A big bounce back this week from Miami. A lot of struggles for them the last couple weeks. They're able to get a 38-10 win there. Another bad game for the ACC as Duke loses to UConn today. Not really ideal for them. And yeah, man, it was just a good day of college football. Not a lot of hype going into this thing, but definitely a day that finished on the right foot with a ton of upsets, ton of things going on in college football. A lot of moving and shaking is going to be happening in the polls this week. So stay up to date on that stuff. But I appreciate you guys for watching this little bit of a week 11 reaction to things. Just a quick summary of what's going on. Make sure you're following us on all the socials. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, do whatever you got to do. Honestly, it's completely free. It costs you absolutely nothing to subscribe to this thing. All it does is help us. We're trying to get to 1,000. We're almost there. I think we're like 12 to 13 away. So if you could subscribe to the channel, man, I'm not begging, but I'm begging type thing here. because we really appreciate having you here and appreciate your input. Even when you're giving us crap, it doesn't really matter. So thank you guys again for watching. Hopefully, we will see you guys later on and see you guys next time.